you can't wipe the smile off my face. It's now the day after the Gold Coast Marathon. As you can probably imagine, my legs are pretty battered, but to be honest, compared to last year, which was my debut marathon, my legs are a million times better. Last year, I was struggling to like walk the next day. My hip was rooted, struggling. This time, I can actually do squats. I can move my legs, my calf's a bit sore, but other than that, I'm laughing. So my official time was 2 hours, 56 minutes, 59 seconds. I just scraped under the 2 hour, 57 minute barrier. And comparing it to my debut marathon race, which was 3:08:08, I ran an 11 minute and 9 second PB. Let's go. What a dream race. I couldn't have asked for a better day. All right, let's try that again. What a dream race. I couldn't have asked for a better day. I was feeling fresh. I had a good night's sleep. I nailed my fueling strategy. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better race. A little bit about the fueling for the day. I woke up, I had a Boss coffee can, long black of course. With that, I had an English muffin with peanut butter and honey on it. And then in the car, I was just snacking on my brown rice chips. When I got to the race, we had a fair bit of time to stretch, go to the toilet, and just chill out basically. So after I did my warm up, we went for a little run with Tomo, and I got a 30-gram carb gel in. Just so that I could replenish my any carbohydrates that I used warming up and stretching and pretty much walking to the event. That gel I took about 20 minutes before the race started. I carried 2 of these 90-gram precision fueling and hydration carb gels. So these are like a mega gel. I carried 2 of these, 1 in each pocket of my tights, and I would have about 30 grams of carbs every 30 minutes during the run. I also had Michaela give me a Nathan handheld bottle at the halfway point. I got her to fill this up with 2 scoops of a 30-gram carb mix. This also has 500 milligrams of sodium in each scoop. So that would be a total of 60 grams of carbs and 1,000 milligrams of sodium. And I also added in an Element sachet. I just went for the raw, unflavored sachet just so it didn't overpower me with like fruity flavor. I kind of just wanted to go with something that just tasted more like water and wouldn't make me feel sick on the run. So in actual fact, I had a total of 2,000 milligrams of sodium and then 60 grams of carbs in the Nathan handheld bottle. I pretty much sipped on this anytime I felt like I needed it during the race. So when I had a dry mouth after having some gels, or yeah, pretty much just anytime I felt thirsty. And I was a little bit worried about carrying this as it's kind of heavy when it's full. And I thought it might hinder my race performance, but I'm actually really glad that I decided to grab this, because that way I didn't actually have to slow down and grab any cups of water because I had my own handheld. So really happy I ended up doing this, and I think it honestly saved me as well. I finished the race with a tiny bit of the second 90-gram carb gel and maybe 100 mils of the mixture as well. So I would say that I got a total of 60 plus 80. I would say I consumed about 200 to 210 grams of carbs over the entire race, and about 1,800 to 1,900 milligrams of sodium as well. The feeling of crossing that finish line in under 3 hours is a feeling I can't compare to anything I've ever experienced in my life. You think you're totally exhausted, which you probably are, but somehow you just have so much energy and emotion watching the boys and other people finish. It was such a great time. I honestly had the time of my life. After I finished, the LSKD crew and I were cheering people in, trying to get under that sub 3 milestone, which would have to be one of my favorite moments of the entire marathon. I'll let myself explain.
It's like, because I came in like 3 minutes under sub, 3 minutes under 3 hours, and then like you're like high-fiving everyone at the end because everyone's stoked they got under 3. Yeah. And then you're just like cheering people in. Yeah. Everyone's sprint finish on the sub 3, and everyone's like, fucking going for it, like cheering over the line, like because they get over it, like they get sub 3. Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
All right, so let's get into the lickety splits, shall we? Okay, so as you all probably know from the name of the video, and if you follow me on any platform, the goal was sub 3 hours. How I plan to do this going into the race was as follows. Hold 4:10 pace for as long as possible and hold on for dear life. Man, it's just so funny how a plan can get thrown straight out the window as soon as the race starts. So let me just get Strava up on my phone and let's look at the splits. So the first kilometer you spend trying to weave your way through people and trying to get into a good position. So it's a bit of a shit show. And with my first split being 4:13, we're already off to a great start. For the next 5Ks, I proceeded to run above decided race pace and clocked a 20:30 for the first 5K split. So that's around a 4:06 pace average. Yeah, the plan is already getting disregarded here. The next 5K went in similar fashion, with my next 10K split being 40:57, which honestly felt like the right move. I was feeling great. I found a nice pack that I could huddle in behind. There was a nasty headwind till about the 15-kilometer mark, which made things a bit rough on your own. Now, getting into the halfway mark, I was bang on my newfound race pace, and I came in through the halfway mark at 1:26.20. By this stage, I was thinking, this sub 3 gig, it's well in reach. Michaela handed me a bottle and I carried on. Holding 4:10 to 4:15 pace pretty comfortably, I finally made it to the 30K mark where I ran my first split over the sub 30 pace. This being the marathon wall that we all know so well, and the race begun from there. The next 5Ks I managed to keep on the gas with 4:10 to 4:15 pace kilometers ticking over. This is now becoming an extremely tough task to hold on to, but I persevered. From kilometers 36 to 41, I was in a living hell of fatigue and was struggling to hold even 4:25 pace. I was literally holding on for dear life, which I guess was the original plan anyway. This is truly demon time, and it took everything I had just to hold that pace. The final 1.2K I'm really proud of. There was a massive line of tents, people cheering you on, and I said to myself, I'm gonna give it absolutely everything I have left. The 42nd kilometer coming in at 4:16 pace to then a sprint finish at 3:28 pace is absolutely crazy. Especially when I was convinced at the 36 kilometer mark that I had nothing left, and this is all I can muster up. I managed to hold on with the help of everybody calling out my name as I run past, which is another great thing about having your name on your bib. You feel like everybody is your #1 fan. It's awesome, it's motivating, and people were yelling out my name. Sprint finish home, came home strong, and I couldn't be happier. What a feeling and what a race. The marathon is a crazy ride, and it will humble you in the best way possible. Ticked another personal goal of mine off the list. Every race I do, I learn something, and the Gold Coast was no exception. Congrats to everybody who raced on Sunday. Man, I love this sport. My next race is actually coming up pretty soon. It's the Sunshine Coast Half Marathon, August the 13th. I'm aiming for that sub 80-minute milestone. It's a fast, flat course with some beautiful scenery, and I've got a really good feeling about this one. That's it for the sub 3-hour marathon race recap. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you press that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.